Now this first screen that we're getting to, this is actually Workflow and Profit Manager. I wanted to talk about this a little bit before we get into the customer side, just because I think this is sort of the backbone that unites everything we do. And so what you're looking at are all of the different queues or stages in your order to cash process that you would define for your business. And then next to it, you can see how many orders are in each one of those stages as they progress through the dollar value. And then over here on the right, we have a more detailed view where we can see the specific order numbers, the customer those are placed with. I can see related documents with these hover over features, the actual item level detail, which is a great function. So rather than having to drill into the document, I can hover over the products that are on that order and see exactly the items and quantities that were listed on that. So I got all these great tool tips that I can gain a lot of information and insight just from this grid view. But as you scroll through, you can see all of the different breakdowns of the orders. So the manager review queue, here's all the orders in manager review, and so on and so forth. And so this is sort of your bird's eye view of your entire organization, giving you visibility of the orders as they progress through. And keep in mind, we'll talk about this a little bit more in just a moment, but behind this is a powerful workflow engine that identifies conditions on orders and takes automated actions. And as I mentioned, the significance of that is really we want to, Cavallo is all about looking at when you get an order to when you collect the cash and reducing that time frame to unlock growth and profitability. So that's where that becomes very important. But this is the bird's eye view. So we're going to go into the setup screen here. And so what you're seeing here is a workflow rule example. And so if we needed manager approval or something like that, check the profit margin, we can define this rule and we can build out a conditional statement. So if the profit margin is less than a certain percent, then move to this particular queue, or otherwise move to this particular queue. So we can build out a compound rule with this rule builder. And so that is where you sort of govern or set up the criteria that's going to govern the flow of documents through your process. So that's what a workflow rule would look like. And so as you're building out your workflow, you can add your queues, and then you can map out, what are the different conditions, what are you going to move to as a default, and then your conditions would kind of override that default. So this is, if you're familiar with SalesPad's desktop product, this is the workflow setup screen, and this is what it would look like inside of Workflow and Profit Manager. So you can label your buttons, what you want to call them, the conditions, the default move to queues, as I mentioned. This is where you would map all of that information out.